Within the geological sciences, field education is highly valued and considered a fundamental component of undergraduate geology programs. However, field education opportunities can be limited by large class sizes, budgetary constraints, inclement weather, and inaccessible field sites. Many programs have turned to virtual components to help offset these limitations and provide students the opportunity to digitally practice field techniques, listen to lectures in better context, and explore field sites they may not otherwise be able to access. Over the years, the in-person trip conducted by the Department of Geological Sciences at the University of Missouri within the United States has been met with challenges, most particularly inclement weather, which has affected the trip on a semesterly basis. In these instances, students have been provided a traditional PowerPoint lecture. We sought to develop a desktop-based virtual field environment, or VFE, using a suite of pre-existing tools to better address these complications and replicate the learning experience of the in-person field trip. We not only sought to create a desktop-based VFE, but also enhance the learning objectives from the in-person field trip. The traditional learning objectives solely focused on the development of the landscape by studying the local sinkholes, caves, and natural bridges in the park. Our enhanced learning objectives not only address the development of the landscape, but also the paleontological importance of the host limestone and the geologic history of the park and understanding the timeline of key events that resulted in the landscape around them. We used a suite of pre-existing tools to create our VFE, utilizing ThingLink, an online platform for creating virtual tools, Articulate Storyline, which you can see up above me, and the learning management system Canvas. Combining these three tools allowed us to seamlessly integrate assessments within our VFE and reduce the time and resources required to create our VFE. Both Storyline and ThingLink allow for the incorporation of a variety of media, which you can see being displayed above, which are included in a series of hotspots or annotations embedded into a 360-degree photograph of the field site. During April of 2022, shortly after submitting final revisions on this work in progress paper, we were able to conduct our first round of targeted testing with introductory geology students. Students were divided into two groups based on their lab meeting date, with the first group completing the VFE prior to the in-person field trip, and the second group completing the VFE following the in-person field trip. However, inclement weather resulted in the field trip being canceled for our second group, and thus they only encountered the material a single time within the VFE. After both groups completed the VFE and in-person trip, they completed a summative assessment within their Canvas portal regarding information they covered in both environments. It was at this point the students could consent to having their data and feedback collected within a study approved by IRB. Of the 182 students enrolled in the course, 90 students consented to be in our study. We are still processing the data and feedback as we received the results right before recording this video. But here I have the distribution of average quiz scores based on grade level, freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. On the left and in green are results from students who only completed the VFE, and in blue and on the right are students who completed both the VFE and in-person trip. Because we integrated the VFE into the existing course structure, our data are unbalanced, with more students having completed both versions. As one might expect, students who are doubly exposed to the content scored higher on average than students who were only exposed to the content once. However, the difference in scores were small, with the doubly exposed group receiving a 16 out of 20 and the single exposure receiving an average of 14 out of 20. Understanding the grade variance based on the VFA exposure will require additional data, which will be collected in the following semesters. Moving forward, we intend to modify our VFE based on the qualitative feedback we collected and conduct similar studies within the upcoming academic year. Our intention for the VFE to become a standard part of the laboratory curriculum and is to act as a supplement to the field trip and replacement when needed. Additionally, we'll make a version of the VFE public available to fill a virtual void in VFE offerings within the United States mid-continent and partner with local nonprofits to host the VFE for the general public to improve the scientific literacy of our planet. Thank you. And I do want to thank our funding sources and a multitude of people who've helped us complete this study, including the introductory class at the University of Missouri, led by Dr. John Huntley.